I love Sword Art Online.
Nobody cares.
Sonic the Hedgehog is an awesome movie. The action is super cool, and the acting, spot on. It is the kind of movie that makes you feel good, with a blue hedgehog that's way more interesting than anything Sword Art Online has to offer. Speaking of Sword Art Online, wow, what a snooze fest. The characters are about as interesting as a blank piece of paper. They're lifeless, like they were programmed to be boring. The story? A total train wreck. Watching Sword Art Online feels like you're stuck in a glitchy game, and not the fun kind like Sonic would zoom through. Skip Sword Art Online. Seriously, don't waste your time. Watch Sonic instead, and let the blue blur show you what real entertainment looks like. Sonic's got speed, style, and enough charm to run circles around Sword Art Online's bland, lifeless mess.
Sonic teams up with local town sheriff Tom to stop the sinister mad scientist Dr. Robotnik. In this video, I'll break down the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. The movie begins with Dr. Robotnik chasing Sonic throughout the city of San Francisco. We back up to the beginning of the story and see the island where Sonic is from. Sonic is really young and he was born with the power of super speed. Sonic is able to run across the entire island in less than 2 seconds. Sonic was told to keep his powers a secret since someone could have seen him. But being a naive kid, Sonic did the exact opposite. A tribe of echidnas attack Sonic and his guardian, Longclaw the Owl. They're trying to capture Sonic and take his power. This could have been avoided if Sonic kept his powers a secret. There's a reason why superheroes like Spider-Man and Batman prefer to keep their actual identities hidden from the public. It's so that they can protect themselves and the people close to them. Longclaw tries to fly away with Sonic, but she's shot down by an arrow. This was unnecessary. Sonic could have simply ran away on his own. The echidnas wouldn't be able to match Sonic's speed since they don't have super speed. Longclaw tells Sonic to keep running and that the only way to stay safe is to stay hidden. Longclaw opens a portal to Earth with a ring. She gives Sonic the bag of rings and stays back to hold off the echidnas while Sonic goes through the open portal to Earth. Longclaw could have gone with Sonic to Earth. There was no need for Longclaw to stay behind and fight the tribe of echidnas on her own. There was more than enough time for both Longclaw and Sonic to go through the portal to Earth before it closed. Longclaw is trying to prevent the tribe of echidnas from entering the portal, but she could hold the echidnas off from the other side as well. It's highly likely that Longclaw didn't actually die. Oftentimes, when you don't see a character die on screen, then it usually means that they're still alive and they'll probably return in the future. There's a 10-year time skip and we move to the small town of Green Hills, Montana. The local town sheriff, Tom, is sitting by himself in his vehicle. He's very bored since not much is happening. Sonic quickly runs past Tom and he gets out of his vehicle to see what's going on. Tom finds one of Sonic's quills nearby and he's called into town to stop a duck from stealing a bagel. Sonic uses his super speed and saves a turtle from almost getting crushed by a car. We see that Sonic lives alone in a cave. He loves reading the Flash comic books, working out, and playing table tennis all by himself. Sonic plans to use the rings and escape to a new mushroom planet if he's ever discovered. The people of Green Hills don't know that Sonic exists. Sonic calls Tom the Donut Lord since he eats a lot of donuts. Tom lives with his wife Maddie, who's a veterinarian. Sonic calls Maddie the Pretzel Lady because she's very flexible. Only one person in town, named Crazy Carl, is on to Sonic, and he calls him the Blue Devil, which is a reference to a vehicle driven by Metal Sonic in the Sonic Drift 2 video game. Crazy Carl is also holding up a drawing of the Sonic meme. No one else in Green Hills believes Crazy Carl, despite the fact that he almost caught Sonic one time. Sonic enjoys watching movies like Speed with Tom and Maddie, even though he can't get close to them. Sonic feels very lonely and wants to make friends with other people. Tom and Maddie are planning to move to San Francisco, California, since Tom has a new job offer and has been selected to join the San Francisco Police Department. Maddie got Tom a special cake to celebrate the occasion. Maddie has been looking for apartments to rent online and is planning to fly to San Francisco tomorrow with their dog Ozzy to check out some of the neighborhoods. Tom's family has been protecting the town of Green Hills for more than 50 years, so this is a big change for him, but he wants to try something new and help people who are in real trouble. Sonic watches some kids playing baseball. During the night after everyone leaves the field, Sonic tries playing baseball by himself. Sonic is still feeling very lonely and depressed. He starts running at high speeds and accidentally triggers an EMP. This causes a huge power outage across the entire Pacific Northwest. Sonic totally just killed a bunch of people. We saw how the EMP knocked out a satellite, and there were probably several planes flying in the area too. Sonic should use one of the rings and immediately escape to the Mushroom Planet. People are going to investigate what happened, and they could find Sonic, so it's not safe for him to be on Earth anymore. Tom calls his deputy and friend, Wade, to explain what he should do right now. But the EMP should have knocked out all the phones and cell towers, so the characters shouldn't be able to call each other. Tom sees that Sonic's quill is glowing. The United States Department of Defense gets involved. They determine that the power outage wasn't caused by a meteor strike, solar flare, or power plant malfunction. Dr. Robotnik is hired to find the cause of the power outage. He takes control of the military and uses his drones to initiate a sweep sequence 10 miles in every direction. Dr. Robotnik prefers machines over people since they do what they're told and follow their program. One of the drones discovers Sonic's footprint. Dr. Robotnik is able to determine the exact height, weight, and spinal curvature of the creature. His computer isn't able to find a single match for it anywhere in Earth's animal kingdom. Dr. Robotnik knows that the blackout wasn't caused by a terrorist attack, and he sends a search unit after Sonic. Many soldiers and drones scout the nearby forest. Sonic plans to escape to the Mushroom Planet, but the search unit is right outside the cave, and Sonic runs to Tom's garage instead. It only takes a few seconds to open a portal and go through it, so Sonic should have done that. There was no reason to run to Tom's garage and risk being caught by someone. Tom finds Sonic in the garage, and he shoots him in the leg with a tranquilizer dart. Sonic should easily be able to avoid getting hit by the tranquilizer dart since he has the power of super speed and could have moved out of the way. Even if Sonic was panicking and caught off guard, his reaction speed should be much faster than a normal person's. Before passing out, Sonic sees the Transamerica Pyramid on Tom's shirt and he opens a portal to it. Sonic accidentally drops his bag of rings through the portal and it lands on top of the building. The portal closes and Tom isn't sure what's going on. Tom puts Sonic in a cage, but he regains consciousness and frees himself. Sonic talks to Tom and he's surprised that he can speak English. Dr. Robotnik comes to the house and Sonic begs for Tom's help. Tom is finally able to help someone who's in real trouble like he always wanted. Sonic can't run away since his legs feel like spaghetti. If Sonic has the power of super speed, then he should have the power of super healing as well, and recovered from the tranquilizer by now. The rest of Sonic's body is fine, so his legs should have healed too. Tom agrees to help Sonic and lets him hide in the attic while he talks to Dr. Robotnik outside. Dr. Robotnik discovers more of Sonic's footprints near the house. Sonic should do a better job of covering up his tracks. Dr. Robotnik says he's from the power company and is here to investigate the blackout. He would like to go inside the house to take a few readings, but Tom doesn't allow him to go inside the house. Tom knows that Dr. Robotnik is lying since the power company usually takes the readings from outside of the house. It was pretty obvious that Dr. Robotnik wasn't from the power company since he wasn't wearing a utility uniform or driving a van. Dr. Robotnik sends his drones inside the house. Sonic is nearly scanned by the drones, but he rolls down the stairs and into the kitchen. Sonic accidentally creates a loud noise and Dr. Robotnik barges into the house. However, it was just a raccoon eating the cake on the kitchen table. Dr. Robotnik knows that he's never wrong, and he finds Sonic's quill. Dr. Robotnik didn't have a warrant, so this is an illegal search and seizure. Evidence that was obtained illegally doesn't hold up in a court of law since Tom didn't consent to Dr. Robotnik coming into the house. Dr. Robotnik threatens to kill Tom with one of his drones, so Sonic reveals himself. Dr. Robotnik is surprised, and Tom punches him in the face, knocking him unconscious. Assaulting a government agent isn't a smart decision, but it was self-defense since Dr. Robotnik was going to kill Tom, so he didn't have much of a choice here. The drone determines that Tom is a threat and it starts shooting at him. Tom's house is destroyed, but he manages to escape with Sonic before more government agents arrive. Dr. Robotnik regains consciousness. He vows to capture Sonic and uncover the source of his power. In the meantime, Tom and Sonic drive away. Tom's truck shouldn't be working due to the EMP. Maybe the truck would still work if it was an older model with minimal electronics, but it's a 2019 Toyota Tacoma, so it's not EMP proof. Sonic explains what he is and that he needs to get his rings back. Sonic wants Tom to take him to San Francisco so he can retrieve his rings and use them to go to the Mushroom Planet. Tom has had enough and doesn't want to get involved since he's going to join the San Francisco Police Department soon and can't have a bad track record. Sonic runs off on his own, but he doesn't know where San Francisco is and runs back to Tom. Sonic was able to run from Montana to the Pacific Ocean and back in about 4 seconds. If he can do this, then Sonic could easily run across all the roadways in the entire Pacific Northwest and eventually find San Francisco in an hour or so through trial and error. He doesn't need Tom's help since driving from Montana to San Francisco would take about 18.5 hours. The YouTube channel, The Film Theorist, made a video about this topic. Even if Sonic ran across all the roadways in the United States, it would take him about 4 hours, which is still much quicker than driving 18.5 hours. Not to mention that it would be difficult to drive 18.5 hours straight, so Tom and Sonic would need to take a break. The actual journey would take about 2 days to complete. Tom could go to the store and buy Sonic a map. then show him where San Francisco is located. Sonic has been living on Earth for the past 10 years, so he should be able to read a map. We saw Sonic reading comic books earlier, so he knows how to read. San Francisco is a big city with several unique landmarks like the Golden Gate Bridge, so it shouldn't be too difficult to spot from a distance. Sonic says that he can't do this on his own, and Tom reluctantly agrees to help him since it's his fault that Sonic is in this situation. I guess Sonic really wants to go with Tom and make a friend, so he came up with an excuse as to why he can't run to San Francisco on his own. Tom and Sonic go on a road trip to San Francisco. Tom realizes that Crazy Carl was right after all this time. During the night, Tom and Sonic stop at a gas station. Tom uses a payphone to call Wade. It was clever of Tom to get rid of his cell phone so that he wouldn't be tracked by anyone. Dr. Robotnik and several other government agents are listening in on the call. Dr. Robotnik takes the phone from Wade and tells Tom that he's coming after him. Dr. Robotnik is angry at Tom for hitting him in the face and he wants revenge. Tom should ditch his car and try to find another vehicle since Dr. Robotnik and the other government agents will be looking for a silver pickup truck. Sonic goes to the nearby bar. Tom should have kept an eye on Sonic to make sure that he wouldn't go anywhere. Tom didn't even close the windows. Tom finds Sonic in the bar. The waitress says that kids aren't allowed in the bar and thinks that Sonic is wearing a mask or something. Fun fact, the waitress in this movie is played by Shannon Chan Kent, the same person who voiced Misa Amane in the English dub of the Death Note anime series. Tom says that Sonic is actually 43 years old and that he has a rare skin disease that stunts his growth. Sonic shouldn't go out in a public place. He is risking the chances of getting caught since there are lots of people around. Tom and Sonic decide to stay at the bar for a bit and order some food, but this is a bad choice. They're on the run, so they need to keep a low profile and constantly be on the move to avoid getting caught by Dr. Robotnik and the other government agents. Sonic creates a bucket list and is going to leave Earth forever, so Tom helps him complete several entries while he still has the chance. Again, Tom and Sonic shouldn't be wasting any time here at the bar because that increases the chances of getting caught. If Sonic gets captured by Dr. Robotnik, then he'll get dissected, so they need to go to San Francisco as quickly as possible and get the rings. Sonic starts a huge fight in the bar and he uses his power of super speed to defeat everyone. Afterwards, Tom and Sonic drive away. They stay at a motel for the night. This is a smart decision since motels accept cash payments. Tom doesn't need to use a credit card and can't be tracked. Sonic admits that he doesn't want to go to the Mushroom Planet because there are no people there, only breathable air and giant mushrooms. If that's the case, then the Mushroom Planet is the safest place for Sonic to be since nobody there will try to kill him or take his power. Sonic might feel lonely, but being alone is better than being dead. Sonic falls asleep and Tom watches the news. Tom is labeled a domestic terrorist and a manhunt is underway to capture him. This is exactly why Tom should find a different vehicle to drive. As previously explained, the police will be on the lookout for a silver pickup truck. The next day, Dr. Robotnik and some other government agents go to the bar where Tom and Sonic were at. They question some of the people there about Tom and Sonic. Dr. Robotnik is able to work out where Tom and Sonic are going. Tom and Sonic brought a lot of unwanted attention towards themselves. They shouldn't have started a fight or gone to the bar in the first place. Dr. Robotnik calculates Tom and Sonic's current location, judging by the speed of their vehicle and local weather conditions. Tom and Sonic arrive in California in the morning. Sonic asks if Tom has a bucket list. Tom says he's always felt useless in Green Hills. He wants to move to San Francisco and become a street cop to get a real chance to prove himself under pressure. Sonic doesn't agree with Tom's decision and insists that he should stay in Green Hills since the people there need him. Tom and Sonic get into a huge argument. Dr. Robotnik sends a tank with several mechanized pursuit drones after Tom and Sonic. They work together to destroy all of the drones, but Sonic should be able to destroy the drones on his own with the power of super speed, so Tom doesn't need to risk his life. Sonic can also try creating a smaller EMP to disable all the drones. A tiny drone cuts off the hood of Tom's car and it sticks to Sonic's glove. He could take his glove off and throw it away. Tom and Sonic try to get rid of the tiny drone, but to no avail. The drone explodes and Sonic is badly injured from the explosion. Sonic should have been able to dodge this explosion since he has super speed. Sonic's speed powers have been very inconsistent throughout this movie. Tom drives to Maddie in San Francisco, who's staying at her sister Rachel's house. Meanwhile, Dr. Robotnik analyzes Sonic's quill in his lab. He discovers that it contains unlimited power. Dr. Robotnik is extremely happy since he can use Sonic's quill to power his machines, and they can finally reach their full potential. Sonic has probably shed several quills in the past 10 years that he's been on Earth. How has nobody else discovered one of Sonic's quills before? Sonic is still unconscious and Maddie uses some smelling salts to wake him up. Sonic has fully recovered from the explosion and isn't hurt anymore. Rachel is tied up to prevent her from interfering, but she is not even bound to the chair, so she can easily escape. Maddie is extremely confused and doesn't know what's going on. Tom explains to Maddie what happened so far and why he's here. Maddie agrees to help Tom and Sonic. Maddie's niece Jojo gives Sonic a new pair of red sneakers since his old shoes were all worn out. This is the first time that someone has given Sonic a gift. It's convenient that Jojo had a pair of sneakers in Sonic's size. Now he can go on more bizarre adventures. Afterwards, Tom, Maddie, and Sonic take Rachel's car. They drive to the Transamerica Pyramid. Tom and Maddie shouldn't let Sonic drive the car. Sonic doesn't have a driver's license, and he doesn't know how to drive a car, so they could have gotten into an accident. Sonic doesn't even need Tom and Maddie anymore. He's in San Francisco now, so Sonic should be able to locate the Transamerica Pyramid on his own using his super speed. If Sonic ran across all the roadways in San Francisco, then he should be able to find the Transamerica Pyramid in a few minutes. It's hard to miss a building like the Transamerica Pyramid since it has a very unique design. Sonic should part ways with Tom and Maddie so he doesn't put their lives in danger anymore. Sonic says that they need a special key to get to the roof, but he should be able to run up walls, so this shouldn't be a problem. We saw Sonic running up a building in the first scene of the movie. Tom abuses his law enforcement power and tricks the receptionist into giving him the key needed to access the roof. Tom puts Sonic in a duffel bag, but he starts talking. A woman nearby asks Tom if he has a child in the bag. Tom says yes, but it's not his child. Tom and Sonic should have just kept quiet. They're already wanted fugitives, so this makes them look a lot more guilty. The bystanders could call the police on Tom and Sonic. Additionally, Tom should be wearing a disguise in case people watch the news and recognize who he is. Tom, Maddie, and Sonic finally make it to the roof of the Transamerica Pyramid. Sonic retrieves his bag of rings. Sonic doesn't want to leave Earth, but he knows that he can't stay here since he's going to put other people in danger. Sonic apologizes for being so tough on Tom and thanks him for saving his life. He says that the past 2 days were the best he's ever had. Sonic is about to use a ring to open a portal to the Mushroom Planet, but Dr. Robotnik arrives. Dr. Robotnik shouldn't know where the characters are right now. Dr. Robotnik is aware that Tom and Sonic are going to San Francisco, but it's a big city and they could be in a lot of different places. Dr. Robotnik used the unlimited power of Sonic's quill and is now piloting an advanced attack hovercraft. Sonic taunts Dr. Robotnik and calls him Eggman since his drones are egg-shaped. This is a reference to Dr. Robotnik's nickname in the Sonic video games. Sonic pushes Tom and Maddie off of the building. Dr. Robotnik uses his drones and fires several rockets at Sonic. Dr. Robotnik presses a button and is able to match Sonic's super speed. Sonic uses one of the rings to open a portal to Green Hills. He sends Tom and Maddie there so they don't get killed by Dr. Robotnik. Sonic flees from Dr. Robotnik, but he's able to keep up and match Sonic's super speed using the unlimited power from the quill. We're now back to where the movie began. Sonic is confused since nobody has ever caught up to him before. Sonic uses his rings to open several portals around the world. You need to visualize where you're going, so it doesn't make sense how Sonic opened a portal to places like the Great Wall of China or the pyramids in Egypt since he's never been there before and doesn't know what they look like. Sonic saw a picture of the Eiffel Tower on a bus, but he didn't see the other places anywhere. Furthermore, these portals seem to be similar to the interdimensional portals in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Sonic could use these portals offensively and cut Dr. Robotnik's hovercraft in half when the portal closes, like how Wong used a portal to cut off Cole Obsidian's hand in the Avengers Infinity War movie. Dr. Robotnik follows Sonic through the portals and chases him around the world. Sonic tries blinding Dr. Robotnik in Egypt, but he gets shot. Sonic and Dr. Robotnik eventually end up in Green Hills, so the story has come full circle now. Sonic is rendered unconscious. Dr. Robotnik plans to take Sonic to the lab to study him. Tom and Maddie arrive. Tom uses a ring and opens a portal behind Dr. Robotnik. He punches Dr. Robotnik in the face again. Dr. Robotnik knocks Tom away and is about to kill him. However, the townspeople of Green Hills band together and intervene in the nick of time. Wade has a gun, so he should shoot and kill Dr. Robotnik before he causes any more trouble. It's self-defense since Dr. Robotnik is threatening to kill Tom and must be stopped. Tom claims that Sonic is his friend, and he knew more about being human than Dr. Robotnik ever will. Sonic hears this and regains consciousness. His strength has increased dramatically, and now he has incredible lightning abilities, similar to Thor from the Marvel movies. So the power of friendship wins at the end of the day. Sonic decides to stay on Earth and stop running away. Sonic fights Dr. Robotnik. He uses his super speed and destroys Dr. Robotnik's hovercraft. Sonic tells Dr. Robotnik that he's the one who's going to leave Earth. Tom uses one of the rings to open a portal to the mushroom planet behind Dr. Robotnik. Tom doesn't know what the mushroom planet looks like though. He's only heard about the mushroom planet from Sonic and never seen it himself, so it doesn't make sense how Tom opened a portal to the mushroom planet. Sonic sends Dr. Robotnik through the portal to the mushroom planet. It would have been smarter to open a portal above an active volcano, then send Dr. Robotnik through to his death. Afterwards, Tom and Maddie decide to stay in Green Hills instead of moving to San Francisco. Tom has saved someone in trouble, and now he wants to spend his life with the people he cares about. Tom and Maddie rebuild their house since it was destroyed by Dr. Robotnik's drone earlier. The government gives Tom and Maddie a $50 Olive Garden gift card as a token of appreciation for keeping quiet about Sonic. The other townspeople of Green Hills saw Sonic as well, so the government has a lot more people to worry about. Tom and Maddie appreciate the gesture, and they plan to try out the never-ending pasta bowl at Olive Garden. It would have been a lot better if the government gave Tom and Maddie money so they could fix their house or buy a new truck, since Tom's truck was wrecked by Dr. Robotnik's drone. The government has also erased all of Dr. Robotnik's records. They claim that he never existed. Many people probably noticed Dr. Robotnik when he was chasing Sonic in San Francisco. There was a lot of destruction, so it would be pretty hard to sweep it under the rug. Tom and Maddie say that they haven't been in contact with Sonic, but this isn't true. After the government official leaves, we see that Sonic is actually in the house. Tom and Maddie have built a room for Sonic in the attic. They allow him to live with them. Sonic shouldn't stay with Tom and Maddie. As Sonic mentioned earlier, he can't stay here since he's going to put himself and everyone he knows in danger. We already saw how Longclaw was supposedly killed in the movie's opening scene. People will want Sonic's power, so they're going to try and kill him. If Sonic is going to stay on Earth, then he should live far away from Tom and Maddie so he doesn't endanger their lives. Tom and Maddie brought all of Sonic's belongings from his old cave. There's a time skip of about 3 months. We see that Dr. Robotnik is still alive on the mushroom planet. Dr. Robotnik is lucky that this mushroom planet had breathable air and the same gravitational field as Earth. It's unclear if time works differently on this mushroom planet though. It might be a lot longer or shorter than 3 months if the time on this mushroom planet isn't the same as Earth. Dr. Robotnik shaved his head and grew out his mustache. He looks a lot more like his video game counterpart now. Dr. Robotnik claims that his grasp on sanity remains absolute. He has Sonic's quill and salvaged some parts from his destroyed hovercraft. There's no apparent way home, but Dr. Robotnik vows to return by Christmas time. Dr. Robotnik should have starved to death by now. He's surrounded by a lot of mushrooms, but mushrooms are a fat-burning, thermogenic food. In other words, mushrooms require more calories to digest than they contain, so you would eventually starve to death if you only ate mushrooms. At the very least, Dr. Robotnik should be severely malnourished. I guess it's good that Sonic didn't decide to come to this mushroom planet, although it would have been better if Sonic killed Dr. Robotnik instead of sending him here. We see Dr. Robotnik somehow returning to Earth in the sequel. If Sonic killed Dr. Robotnik, then this wouldn't be possible, and Sonic doesn't have to worry about him anymore. In the mid-credits scene, a two-tailed fox named Tails emerges from a ring portal on Earth and searches for Sonic. Tails is able to fly using his two tails. It would have been nice if Tails arrived on Earth a tiny bit earlier. He could have helped Sonic fight Dr. Robotnik. Sonic the Hedgehog made about $320 million at the box office on a budget of $85 to $90 million. The film received mostly positive reviews from critics and audiences. Sonic the Hedgehog was also the 6th highest grossing movie of 2020. A sequel called Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is coming out on April 8th, 2022. In the movie, Sonic and Tails team up to find the Master Emerald before Dr. Robotnik and Knuckles do. A third Sonic movie is in active development, as well as a Knuckles spin-off series for the Paramount Plus streaming service in 2023. Idris Elba will reprise his role as Knuckles for the series. What did you think of Sonic the Hedgehog? Additionally, which other movie or anime should I do next? Leave a suggestion. Check out some of the other videos on this channel. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a future upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
As you can see, Sonic the Hedgehog is everything you want in an entertainment experience. It is fast-paced, fun, and full of energy that keeps you hooked from the very beginning. The movie delivers exactly what it promises: an exciting, light-hearted adventure that's as enjoyable for kids as it is for adults. With its vibrant characters, cool action scenes, and clever humor, Sonic stands as a perfect example of how to make a video game adaptation truly engaging. It is a great time, and honestly, it knows exactly what it is and delivers on every level. Then there's Sword Art Online, which is frankly a complete disaster. What's supposed to be an epic adventure quickly turns into a never-ending bore fest. Plot is all over the place, trying to juggle serious themes it doesn't even understand, while the pacing drags you through endless filler episodes that only make you question why you're still watching. The result is a painfully awkward mess that's neither exciting nor thoughtful. Characters in Sword Art Online are another another huge letdown. Protagonist is nothing more than a generic, overpowered blank slate, and his interactions with the rest of the cast come off as forced and lifeless. The supposed romance is laughable at best, and the overall lack of chemistry between anyone makes it hard to care about what happens to them. If you want excitement, Sonic is the clear winner. Sword Art Online is just a train wreck you wish you could unsee. If you want to watch another awesome movie from Paramount, definitely check out Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This film is a wild ride full of adventure, humor, and heart. It does a fantastic job of capturing the spirit of the classic tabletop game, bringing together a diverse group of characters who are both entertaining and relatable. With its witty dialogue, thrilling action sequences, and great chemistry between the cast, Honor Among Thieves knows how to keep you on the edge of your seat while also making you laugh out loud. Whether you're a Dungeons & Dragons fan or a newcomer, it is a fun experience you won't want to miss.
Welcome to Fantasy Fatalities, the series where we count the death toll of named characters in fantasy movies and shows. In this video, we're analyzing Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. The movie begins at an Arctic prison known as Revel's End. Bard Edgin, or Ed for short, and barbarian Holga have been imprisoned there for 2 years for the crimes of grand larceny and skullduggery. Ed explains his backstory. Years ago, he was a member of the Harper's faction, a network of spies who swore an oath to fight tyranny, defend the oppressed, and to ask nothing in return. Ed's wife Zia supported his decision, even though she knew the risks. Ed and Zia have a daughter named Kira. Zia is killed by a red wizard. When Zia died, so did Ed's devotion to his oath. The next few months were hard for Ed and Kira. Ed met Holga, and they quickly became like brother and sister. Neither of them had money or an honest way to earn it, so they decided to steal. Kira helped out as well. They also added sorcerer Simon and conman Forge to the team. A wizard named Safina asked them for help robbing a stronghold. There are priceless relics inside, and only Harpers could gain access. Forge mentioned that among the relics was a tablet of reawakening, which can resurrect a single deceased person. Ed planned to use the tablet to bring Zia back to life. Ed and Holga left Kira behind to go on the mission. The heist went horribly wrong. Ed and Holga got caught in a time-stopping spell, which is how they were captured. Ed manages to throw the tablet to Forge in the nick of time. Back in the present, Ed and Holga escape the prison with the help of an Aarakocra named Jarnathan. Even though their pardon was approved, Ed and Holga go back to their old house, but Kira isn't there. Ed retrieves his loot from a secret hiding spot. Ed and Holga learn that Forge is the Lord of Neverwinter. Ed and Holga go to look for Forge and Kira in Neverwinter. It turns out that Forge has been taking care of Kira. Forge explains that the previous Lord, Neverember, fell ill and he campaigned to become the new Lord of Neverwinter. Safina is Forge's advisor. Ed asks Forge for the tablet, and Kira is angry that he only cares about riches and not her. It's revealed that Forge lied to Kira, and he convinced her that Ed was only in it for the money. Ed begs Kira to trust him, but she doesn't do it and walks away. Forge refuses to give Ed the tablet or his daughter back. Ed and Holga are trapped in the floor by Safina. Forge admits that during the heist, Safina purposefully trapped Ed and Holga in the time-stopping spell. He always wanted them to get caught, including Simon, but he managed to escape. Ed and Holga are taken to be executed, but they defeat the guards and escape. Forge lies to Kira again. He claims that he gave Ed the tablet of riches and he left with Holga. Forge promises Kira that he'll always be there for her. Ed and Holga plan to assemble a team to rob Forge's vault. They need the real tablet to prove that they were telling the truth to Kira. Simon is currently performing magic tricks while secretly attempting to steal from the audience. Ed and Holga track Simon down. They explain their plan to him, but he thinks that it's too risky. Simon is broke though, so Ed and Holga convince him to do the heist. They need a druid to shapeshift and get into the castle undetected. Simon knows a female druid named Doric. Simon used to date Doric. Ed, Holga, and Simon meet up with Doric. She mentions that she was born to humans, but they didn't want a tiefling child, so she was taken in by the wood elves. Doric isn't fond of humans, but she agrees to do the heist to take down Forge. Doric transforms into a fly to sneak into Forge's castle. Safina says that the vault is protected by an arcane seal. Safina catches Doric, but she manages to escape the castle by transforming into other animals. Doric reunites with the others. She explains what she saw. Unfortunately, Simon can't disable the seal. They have to get the Helm of Disjunction, which is an item that can disable all nearby enchantments. The helm went missing ages ago, but Holga knows where it's located. Her tribe fought a cult over the helm, but it was over a century ago and they're all dead. Luckily, Simon has a token that allows him to ask questions to corpses. Safina meets up with an assassin named Dralas. He kills several soldiers. The only named character who died here is Blackwood. Holga visits her ex-husband Marleman, and she retrieves a walking stick from his house. The characters go to an old graveyard where Holga's ancestors are buried. Simon's token lets them ask 5 questions to each of the corpses before they become dead again. A total of 4 named characters died in the flashback scenes to Horgith, Stanhard Grimwood, Wolf, Sven Solifin, and Ven Solifin. It's revealed that a paladin named Zank has the helm. Doric knows where he is. The characters locate Zank, and they tell him about their goal of finding the helm. Zank agrees to help the characters since Forge is their common enemy. Ed swears to divide all the wealth stolen amongst the townspeople of Neverwinter. Zank mentions that the helm is located in the Underdark, and he takes them to one of the entrances. Zank talks about his backstory. A lich named Zastam seized control of the country of Thay. He kills countless people and turns them into his undead army, including a girl named Ashira. The group enters the Underdark, and Zank guides them through it. The helm is on the other side of the chasm, but the bridge is protected by an ancient gnomish trap. Simon accidentally steps on the bridge and it collapses. Holga takes out the walking stick and Simon realizes that it's a hither-thither staff. Simon uses the staff to create portals and the characters walk through them to the other side of the chasm. Zank retrieves the helm and he gives it to Ed. Safina sends assassins to kill the characters. Zank defeats all of the assassins on his own, including Dralas. The assassins come back to life since they're undead. The characters encounter a pudgy red dragon named Themberchaud and they flee. Themberchaud eats all of the assassins, including Dralas. The group narrowly escapes the Underdark and they get marooned on a beach. Zank departs and Simon must attune to the helm. Simon puts on the helm and he speaks to his great-great-grandfather. Several hours go by and Simon still isn't able to attune to the helm. They need to come up with another plan. The characters are mad at Ed and he admits that he's the biggest failure out of all of them. Ed reveals that he got his wife killed by stealing a red wizard's treasure, which was marked. They can't give up now or else it'll all be a waste. Holga comes up with an idea. They can use the hither-thither staff to put the portal on some treasure and sneak it into Forge's vault. Simon uses the staff to create a portal on a painting. Ed sticks the painting to the bottom of a wagon. Doric enters the portal and she puts the painting among the other treasures. Doric then transforms into a fly to get out. Forge is hosting the High Sun Games and lots of people attend. The painting is stored in the vault, but it falls on the ground, so the characters can't use the portal. They need to go with their old plan of Simon attuning to the helm. Doric will continue chipping away at the ground. She can transform into a worm and get in if there's enough room. Ed, Holga, and Simon manage to sneak inside the castle after distracting the guards with an illusion spell. Ed will find Kira while Holga and Simon infiltrate the vault. Holga stays behind to fight the guards while Simon goes to the vault on his own. Simon puts on the helm and he's finally able to attune to it by conquering his fears. Simon opens the vault's door and Holga comes. In the meantime, Doric transforms into a worm and she makes it inside the vault. Doric is under the arena while Simon and Holga are in an empty room. A guard knocks Doric out. Simon and Holga are restrained by some tentacles. Ed finds Kira and he confesses his faults to her. It turns out that Kira is actually Safina in disguise. She restrains Ed with some tentacles and Forge walks in. Forge intends to kill the characters. Ed persuades Forge to put them in the High Sun Games. Safina agrees to it as well. Doric regains consciousness. She saw guards loading things onto a ship in the nearby dock. Ed and Holga realize that Forge wasn't hiding the loot from them. He was aiming to steal all of it for himself. Forge only brought back the High Sun Games so that the treasure would be bigger. Doric and Simon are wearing magic suppression cuffs, so they can't use their magical abilities. The characters are sent to the arena and the tournament begins. They have to go through the maze until they reach the cage. Chests can be looted for weapons. Holga tries to open a chest, but it turns out to be a mimic. Doric and Holga get separated from Ed and Simon. Doric's hand gets trapped inside of a gelatinous cube, but Holga pulls it out. The magic suppression cuff gets stuck inside the gelatinous cube. The characters make it to the cage, but Ed doesn't think that it's the way out. Doric has an idea. She tells the other characters that they should jump inside the gelatinous cube. They'll only be inside for a few seconds. The maze shifts and the gelatinous cube gets transported underground. Doric transforms into a snake and she slithers out of the gelatinous cube. Doric then pulls everyone out. The characters discover that all the treasure is gone. Ed finds some keys to unlock Simon's magic suppression cuff. The group steals Forge's boat filled with all the treasure. Forge and Kira make it to the boat, but they encounter the other characters. Ed retrieves the tablet. He asks Kira to come home and he'll bring Zia back to life so that they can be a family again. Forge holds Kira at knife point and he demands the other characters to get off his ship. Holga throws a potato at Forge and Kira is able to get free. The characters board the ship and Simon uses his magic to create a wave so they can sail away. Kira apologizes to Ed for believing Forge. The characters realize that Safina is planning to turn all the citizens of Neverwinter into the undead. She needed Forge to organize the High Sun Games so the people would be drawn together in one spot. The characters decide to return to Neverwinter. Safina unleashes her spell. Many people are killed and turned into undead, including gamblers named Din Caldwell and poor Pyrodost. Simon uses the staff to create a portal on a hot air balloon. The treasure from the boat is dropped throughout the city. The citizens of Neverwinter leave the arena and they spread apart to pick up the treasure. They avoid Safina's spell. Ed also fulfills his promise promise to Zank. Ed, Holga, Simon, and Doric fight Safina. They can't beat her. Safina casts another time-stopping spell, but Simon counters it this time. Kira uses a pendant to become invisible, and she places a magic suppression cuff on Safina's wrist. Doric transforms into an owlbear, and she kills Safina. Holga got injured by Safina's blade, and she dies. Ed resurrects Holga with the tablet. Doric thinks that some humans are okay. She agrees to date Simon again. Forge attempts to flee, but he gets captured by Zank. Neverember recovers from his illness. Neverember grants formal protection to the druids, and he awards the characters with a medal of heroism. Forge is imprisoned in Revel's End. His pardon is denied. Finally, the movie ends with Forge trying to escape the prison by using Jarnathan like Ed and Holga, but the window isn't there anymore. In the mid-credits scene, Sven is still waiting for someone to ask him a final question. In total, there were 13 named character deaths. Zia, Blackwood Toke Horgith, Stanhard Grimwolf, Sven Solifin, Ven Solifin, Ishira, Dralas, Din Caldwell, Horb Pyridost, Safina, and Holga. With a runtime of 134 minutes, that gives us an average of one death every 10.3 minutes. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves received positive reviews from critics and audiences. The movie made over $194.5 million at the box office. A spin-off TV series is in development. Rawson Marshall Thurber will be the showrunner and director of the pilot episode. The series will have 8 episodes and stream on Paramount+. In regards to whether or not there will be a sequel to Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, the filmmakers have stated that they never intended to make this a franchise, but if they do continue, they would most likely keep using the characters established in this movie since the audience knows them, and it would be quicker to jump into the plot. Which fantasy movie or show should I analyze next? Leave a suggestion in the comments below. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.